Hello, everybody. It's time for Dairy Rights prompt number 10, World Building with Erin E. Moulton. Today, we're going to be talking about world building. What is world building? It's basically the act of creating a fictional world. Oftentimes, from writers, I will hear a couple of different questions about world building, such as how can a reader relate to my world? And how can I make my fictional world feel real and credible? And I think both of those answers rely on familiarity. So familiarity just means that there's something that it feels familiar to the reader, and yet there's something fresh too. But the familiarity is what makes it something that they can envision and understand without being overloaded as they read the story. So familiarity is huge. How do you create familiarity in your world building process? Well, basically, you kind of base it on our real world, but put a bunch of different spins on it. So prompt part 1 gives you a couple of questions, actually several questions regarding your world. And I want you to consider these questions and write down as many answers as you can. I'm going to leave this screen up as I read through them, and then you can pause it for as long as you'd like. But I want you to sit here and think about your fictional world and answer these questions to the best of your ability. If you do not have answers to some of these questions, you want to then, put a little check mark next to it so you go back to it and think more about it. So a couple of questions to get you started on your world building endeavor is, what is your character's climate like? What is your character's government and society like, and how does your character fit into it? Who has the power? Who has no power? Where does your character fall within the range of most powerful to least powerful? What types of rules are there? Consider law and government, magic systems, and unwritten laws. What type of food does your character eat, and how does he, she, they get it? How do characters communicate? What about religion and belief systems? What ones exist in your character's world, and does your character ascribe to any of them? What type of technology, if any, does your character use? What are the names of towns, shops, and your characters themselves? Sometimes a name can say a lot. Obviously, if you have something called the Shire, that's a lot different than District 12. Does your world have races, classes, and genders, and where does your character fall within these demographics? How about art, music, theater, entertainment, literature, and culture? What exists in this fictional world, and how is it viewed? What about currency? How does your character get what they need? There are so many more questions that you could ask yourself as you begin to build your fictional world. However, this is just a start. Add any questions that you would also like to answer straight to this list and keep on going. Now, at this point, you can pause right here and continue to answer all these questions on your own piece of paper. However, whenever you're ready, go on to prompt 10 part number 2, which is map it. So I love to do this part because I really like to sometimes step away from the keyboard and put pencil to paper. And what you can do is just start drawing out your world. Now, this is going to help you in a lot of ways. First, you might discover a couple of things about your world that you didn't realize about it while you're mapping it. Secondly, as you're writing, you can refer to your map. Oftentimes on quests or journeys, you could get a little bit lost if you don't have a map. And I think that's why writers like maps so much. It's a frame of reference. Okay, my character is right here. And then they go over this hill and now they're right here. How long did that take? What time of day is it? By mapping out your world, you can give yourself a very good tool as you continue to write your book. So work on part 1, then work on part number 2 of this prompt. And then if you'd like to share online, you're welcome to #DairyRights. Or if you'd like to just share the results with me, I would absolutely love to see them. Shoot me an email at erinr@dairypl.org. Stay creative, and I'll talk to you soon.